Uninformed movie lovers. Good morning, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Damn, episode's over. Nailed it. What a good job.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back. This is Uninformed Movie Reviews number
34.
Number 34.
The one after 33 and right before 35.
Accurate.
Dang, there's
Facts.
an Ariana Grande song about that. Anyways, we're talking about EDtv versus The Truman Show. Two movies that are quite similar. This is the Doppelgänger segment that we have. Doppelgänger films. Movies that came out near each other that happen to resemble each other in a lot of ways. And we're going to talk about those ways. And we're going to talk about which one's better, objectively. Because that's what we do here.
Yeah. And one of them is definitely better.
Yes.
No doubt.
Before we get it started, though, why don't you guys help us out with a 5-star review if you are so inclined on iTunes. Apple Podcasts helps us out more than you can think or know or even comprehend.
I mean, we'll take a 4 and a 3. Just let us know where we went wrong. We'll make improvements, or we'll just keep doing what we're doing.
Leave your comments in the suggestion box so we can burn them. Follow us on YouTube at Uninformed Movie Reviews, and follow us on Instagram at Uninformed Movie Reviews. If you've got some movies you want us to check out, if you've got a topic you want us to check out, if you've got general hate mail, send it to uninformedmoviereviews at gmail.com and subject F Danny.
Perfect. I'm glad that, you know what? I can't pull that off. I can't pull off giving a plug. Like, I'll just be like, ugh.
Danny's the plug daddy.
He's got the right. He's the performer.
I've been known to plug.
Yeah. Yes, you have. Yes, you have indeed. I did want to toss out. We do have a couple of recommendations. Shrek 2. I don't know if we should do it. It was really more of just like,
I'm sorry,
David, how have you not seen Shrek 2?
Who suggests this? Can we say?
Tony sent me a suggestion. It was a meme at first. It was like, Get Out and Shrek 2 are actually the same premise.
Yo. That is some enlightened thinking.
And then I was like, well, I've never seen Shrek 2. And he was like, well, this is what you have to cover next in the podcast. And I was like, well, I don't know about that.
But don't you love Smash Mouth, David?
Is it in Shrek 2 also?
I don't remember 100%, but I'm sure.
I don't know. Doppelgänger films, Shrek 2, and Get Out.
Maybe we should do a Shrek ranking episode.
Get Shrek'd?
Oh, that sounds
Get
awful.
Shrek'd. Let's do it.
But I'm down. Because why not? They're fun.
Not? I guess. I've only seen the first one. I guess I'll find out.
When's the last time you watched Shrek, David?
In the last 3 or 4 months.
Really?
Yeah, it was on Hulu. And Michelle was like, you want to watch Shrek? And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. So we watched Shrek. And I got to say, that movie has the weirdest plot structure ever.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of stumbles in to whatever's next. There's no arcs or anything like that. And then you just...
Or orcs.
Or orcs, for that matter.
Mostly ogres and other creatures.
Which is not just a different pronunciation. It's a different word.
That movie was in development for like 20 years.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Okay, this is now the Shrek podcast, everyone.
Well, yeah, we're switching it up.
Yeah.
Now we're doing
Uninformed Shrek reviews.
Dude, I don't know. Shrek might be some content worth putting out.
Oh, I'm sure. People will definitely listen to that, won't you?
Just for the memes. Let's do it.
Anyway. I love
Coming
it.
soon.
Anyway. Wow, okay, way off base right away. I did want to bring something up, though, because we're talking about doppelgangers. These movies today are barely the same premise.
Whoa, there's a camera.
They're the same premise on like the surface level, like the tip of the iceberg sticking out of the water. But as soon as you go a little bit deeper, completely different movies.
It's totally different approaches.
You're right, though. At a surface level, like if I told someone, you know what's a good doppelganger? EDtv and The Truman Show.
They'll say, what's EDtv?
Yeah. They'll have to be a millennial to like even understand. And even then, that's a thin...
Yeah.
That's a thin promise. Probably a Gen Xer might know what EDtv was. I thought that EDtv would be more so for like our generation, and it was probably at the cutoff. But when I was watching it, I was like, this is a Gen X movie.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
That's a movie about struggling with everyone having an online persona. You know what I mean? That's what that's about. Like being 30 and people knowing your business online.
It was for people who were waiting for their chance to get interviewed by an MTV crew so that they could get on the real world.
Yes, it's definitely a reaction to reality TV from that time period, which makes this movie pretty inaccessible to watch today.
Yeah,
If you're
I
not
mean-
familiar with that time period, it's going to be like, what's happening?
I think any of our kiddo listeners, like, you know, if you guys took a second to watch this movie, you might. There's so much that's so gone from this world at this point that you might feel like you're watching something from the 50s almost.
Maybe.
It's very dated.
You know, when you say kiddo listeners, I'm just like, man, who do you think the youngest person who's listened to this podcast is?
23.
23.
Mary.
Mary. Is she
That's not a
23?
bad- that's not a
She's
bad
25, I think, actually.
She's 25. She's old now.
Oh, man, you're old, Mary.
Yeah, Mary,
Wow.
you're super old. If you're watching
Just
this,
watched
wow.
her grow up before our eyes.
It's so crazy.
I'm going to make this the teaser. I'm going to cut out this and just put it on our Instagram. Just so Mary can see
Just
it.
tag her.
This is being like, dang, Mary, you're old now.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so I don't know if we have any Zoomer listens, but if we have any Zoomer listeners, you're always welcome. We just love dunking on you a little bit.
Dang. Yeah, you're not wrong, though. I do love dunking on Zoomers. Wow.
It's okay. It's mutual.
Yeah, it's the same. It's playful.
Yeah.
It's not like what we say about boomers.
I don't
Yeah,
think our
true.
generations hate each other as much as
No.
we hate boomers. Anyways,
Wow.
So we want to hit stats really quick before we get into the nitty gritty.
Yes.
I was thinking like stats. Say which one's our obvious favorite, the obvious choice of the better movie between these two really
Wow.
quick. And then we'll talk about why.
Okay.
All right. EDtv. No, you know what? Truman Show, because it came out first. June 5th, 1998. Rocking an 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb. And a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes
Yeah.
with its 103-minute runtime.
dang, that's just 2 less. No, actually, that's 3 more.
Yeah.
3 more.
Than
Yeah, that's
1997.
above
Oh my
the
goodness.
bar.
You messed up your gag.
Oh
here.
wow. It's not even a gag. It's just a measurement of it's a scientific measurement.
There's no joke here. Okay, I'm being 100% earnest.
He's just trying to be metric about it.
We have a line, and it is above the face-off parameters.
It's like the boiling point.
Exactly. I'm just creating my
own.
own scientific measurement at
the
this
boiling point of a spicy movie.
Yes, the face-off point.
It's exactly it. It's either 0 or 1. If you reach over 92%, you're at 1 face off.
One above face-off.
Wow.
Made on a budget of $60 million. They're going to rake in $34,542,000 for opening weekend and turn around that big old worldwide gross at $264,118,000.
Well deserved.
Oh,
well
yeah.
deserved.
Very different numbers coming in from EDtv, released March 26, 1999. A 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb and a 64% on Rotten Tomatoes. And they're going to make you watch it a little bit longer, running 122 minutes. You got to sit through that one.
When I saw that on the title card when I was going to stream it, I was like, do I really have to watch all of it?
Yeah, for reals. And I actually thought the box office was really interesting between these two doppelgangers because budget is $60 million on Truman Show. They turn it around pretty good. Budget of $80 million for EDtv.
Christ.
They're only going to make $8,311,000 on opening weekend.
God.
And the grand total worldwide gross of $35,242,000, which is less than the opening weekend for the Truman Show.
That is a big old flip-flop.
I mean, I remember watching this movie on video, so I definitely didn't see it in theaters when I was younger.
I'd never seen this movie before.
Really?
Yeah, and I wish I hadn't.
Had you?
Yeah, I'd see. Like yourself, I had seen it in my younger years for
Yeah.
sure. Didn't remember it a whole bunch, and now it's easy to see why.
Yeah.
So I guess no big reveal, but which of these two films do you guys think comes out on top?
Ready and
The
Truman
TV
Show.
Just kidding, Truman Show.
Jenny's
Wow.
like science.
It's science. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Truman Show. Truman Show.
Wow. Boy, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Can I just say, like, I don't think we've ever had it on the channel before where one movie is just unabashedly destroying the other movie.
Oh my goodness.
In every facet of filmmaking,
Yes.
enjoyment, entertainment. EDtv sucks.
Well, okay, I wouldn't go that hard. It doesn't suck. It's just,
It does, yeah.
it's not enlightened and it didn't age well. But there's some moments that kind of carry it. It's got some good humor in some places. The sad part is that it's got Ellen DeGeneres, and I hate Ellen DeGeneres.
That's where he draws the line. It's funny because Truman Show is not a comedy, but it's funnier than EDtv, which is a comedy.
Yeah.
It's the situation.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like part of the problems with EDTV's comedy too is like there's too many characters who are tasked with having the one-liners. Like you have Al, the old man, just hitting it super hard. And if he was standing on his own, he'd probably be pretty good. But then you have the brother hitting it in. Like every side character is responsible for like coming in with this zinger, and it's just trying a little bit too hard for it to get you.
They're written like jokes too.
Yes.
Like you can tell it's like I had to fit in this premise for a joke I had.
Oh yeah.
And in a way, it's like the cutaway scenes they show of like audience reactions are like telling you how to respond to it, or like, you know what I mean? Like how to respond to what's happening in that TV.
Something that we have a similarity in both movies too.
Oh, that's true.
Like both movies, very different, but they do have, they're centered a show around one person's life, but each one has people that you go back to, and it's always the same group of like 5 people, 6 people
That's right.
that you get the reactions. I think that's kind of fun in both movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite things.
I just hate
about
like the
either
casual
movie.
audience part of it. Like the stereotypical college girls and the stereotypical like
I liked it
Mexican
all.
chefs and
I
stuff.
thought it was funny. It's like everybody watches it. Oh, look at this fancy gay couple. They watch it too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching it.
What I did love is that one Italian guy that like called everything.
You know what? My favorite audience member from EDtv was the married couple where the wife's all about it at the beginning and the husband's like, "This is stupid. Like, turn it off. I'm turning it off." And at the end, like when they end the show, he's like, "What do they expect us to do now?
Yeah.
That's like me with
This show is my life now."
me with every season of 90 Day Fiance. Oh, this one sucks. This is not anywhere as good as the last one. And at the end, I'm just like, wow, when's the next season come out?
That's funny. That's how Truman Show ends too, with the 2 security guards who
Yeah.
are like, well,
What's
let's
next?
see what else is on.
Yeah.
How quickly people forget. My favorite guy is the one in Truman Show, the man in the bathtub. I just love how invested he is in this. And I think, man,
And he's willing to die for it.
you've been sitting in that tub for like 6 hours.
That
dude.
Dude, his toes are so pruny.
Yeah. That poor guy, to shoot that, he must have just been in that tub for a long time.
That's not the worst
As an
day at work,
actor.
man. Just hang out in a tub. Like, how long did it really get to get all those reaction shots? You know what I mean?
don't
You knock it out in
know.
an afternoon.
Yeah, but that's still like maybe like 4 or 5 hours being in a tub.
Yeah, I've never been one to like watch something in a tub. I don't really like being in a tub.
I just like to take a bath.
Yeah.
And then, even then,
I haven't been near a tub that I fit in a very long
It's
time.
just weird knowing you're like in such a small space with all your filth,
yeah.
you know?
That's how Michelle feels about it.
Yeah.
You're always right next to your butthole, though. You carry your
Oh, for
butthole
sure.
with you wherever you go.
But I don't have to like submerge myself in its particles.
In butthole soup.
You know, to really get at it, you take a shower and then immediately jump in the tub.
Yeah, people have said that.
That's the way it goes, I guess. I've never done that. But
It's a theory.
yeah, theory. I feel like, hey,
Wow.
wow. What are we talking about today? What are we even doing here?
Just trying to avoid the EDtv of it, I guess.
we're just. I was just straight up angry at the end of this movie.
Oh my God.
I was getting angry by just where the plot was going.
And you know what? Yeah, I feel like it was a little bit of an emotional ride for me where within the first maybe 5-10 minutes, I was like, oh yeah, this one's for sure the worst one. And then you would take, because there's so many jumps in the plot that you would take a turn and I'd be like, you know, this is kind of getting interesting. It's like, they didn't pull it off. Oh, damn it.
They don't
And then
stick
they would
the landing.
pull you back in again, like, oh, this might actually get kind of good. And then they would kind of crap the bed all over again. There's a series of letdowns of a letdown of a movie.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Mine was like, I was like riding up. At the beginning, I was like, okay, you know what? Let's see what this movie's all about. Immediately, I was like, well, it's not going to be as good as Truman Show. And then it was like, wow, now I'm bored. And then it was like, this is cringy. Jumping back and forth between bored and cringy. And then suddenly it sank into anger.
In the beginning, especially probably like the first act, I'd say like there's straight up so much cringe. Like them finding who they're trying to find, the TV writers talking, the whole Rob Reiner thing. God,
Even the direction, like there's lines that Matthew McConaughey delivers, or like there's one where he like gives her a smile. It's like super cringy. And by her, we mean Dharma from Dharma and Greg.
Who I'm sure she's done a good job somewhere. I don't know where. I couldn't tell you where you could see her do a good job. But I feel like in this movie she was like unbearable. Like the way they had her play her character, like
She's
a little
one-dimensional.
too ditzy and like weird with her fun little like her trauma films and stuff. Oh, she's a special girl.
Yeah. Oh, she's not
they
like
were
the
hitting
other
it
girls.
way too hard.
She's one of a kind.
Yeah.
It's definitely direction. It's bad direction. Then you get to the end of the movie and the credits start rolling. You're like, what? This is Ron Howard?
Yeah.
Like, what
I know.
That's
right?
what
happened?
happens when you let a tiny black and white little boy direct a film. You should let grown like people.
He's the most diverse filmmaker if he's black and white at the same time.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. He's what 2021's looking for.
Anytime you see Ron Howard's brother, you know it's a Ron Howard movie. When you see like, because there's a cut to like him, he's the camera operator in the van, and it just like shows a picture of him with like giant hair plugs, and then it like starts. I just love that part when he's having like
his best line in the movie where he's just like,
angry.
when Ed's super pissed off and he's like, I don't know, Ed, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a guy that eats 3 meals a day in his truck.
No, my favorite from that guy was probably one of the best parts of the movie, but like his angry conversation with his dog walker, who's like an 8-year-old boy, and he's just like, you're trying to charge me $10 more, you little bastard, and he's just like, you know what? Keep the dog.
I'm not coming for it. Yeah, that is pretty good. That is pretty good stuff.
But everything great about that movie happens around the main characters. It's not the main characters.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Matthew McConaughey is so talented, but this was like him in failure to launch territory or like Fool's Gold.
Dude, he'll do that every now and then.
The Wedding Planner. He was just like a romantic comedy guy for a while.
Yeah.
And they were bad. Is he in The Wedding Planner? I think he is.
No, I think that's Ben.
I think you're thinking of J-Lo.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's J-Lo and I don't know. I'll figure this out. But anyways, I mean, who cares really? But Dharma, and this is a weird connection, but Dharma is in, and Dharma and Greg is like a sitcom
her
from
name?
the 90s.
What's this woman's name?
We should look up her name.
I looked it up and I forgot it already.
It is.
Jenna Elfman.
Yes,
Jenna
No
Elfman.
relation.
Well, you were talking about, who knows where she's at today. If you did want to see some Jenna Elfman, she's on Fear the Walking Dead, which I thought was really funny.
Oh, what do you know?
And then in a coincidence, the guy from Truman Show is on Walking Dead. So both movies have one person who is in the Walking Dead universe, which I thought was just interesting. What a weird coincidence.
Also, I can't remember the character's name, but there's an actor in either movie who's on a version of Friday Night Lights, like one film and one TV show.
Oh, that's
because I
beautiful.
was like, do I know anybody from this? On 2 separate actors, and I was like, oh, well, that's weird.
That is weird. Wow, what a strange connection here.
So, like, if we were to look at, like, I guess you could say the objective similarities in these movies. I mean, obviously in the setting, you've got a 24-hour live reality show. Though I guess the big difference is that one knows it's a show.
The
Yeah.
big difference is
One doesn't.
consent.
This is what I was talking about, that like the premise is only extremely surface level, or these doppelgangers.
It's really the surface level premise and the way that the story's told, because they both go like, you get TV show, you get God's Eye, and you get audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Audience
true.
reaction.
And then that's
Yeah.
where it ends.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, and also there's one more.
Mostly Caucasian casts.
The estranged dad plot line.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Is in both. But I'm sorry, you were saying the like feasibility, I guess, of doing this, or
No, I just mean, like, what are I guess that's all of the similarities that they have. They have you have God's Eye, and then you have like a megalomaniacal producer behind it all.
yeah. Although
You know what I mean?
they're different vibes.
Very.
Where one is like the greedy,
Like a
Hollywood exec.
yeah, he's just classic Hollywood. He's like a
Are we talking Rob Reiner?
Rob Reiner.
Oh, okay,
yeah, he's like
okay.
a Weinstein kind of thing.
Yeah, he'd get like super cooked up at an office party,
Yeah.
show his wiener to a secretary, and now everybody
even
knows
Ellen
you have a penis pump.
DeGeneres' character is
Yeah,
like all of the
they all
good
are.
intentions she's conveying are just to further her agenda and her career. You know what I mean?
But the Godhead in Truman, he's like
That dude.
he thinks he is God at
That
this
guy
point.
wants to be God.
Yeah.
Well, the difference is, like, in Truman Show, he's a director. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And he's like a
Auteur.
Stanley Kubrick or something.
This is my life's work.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other guy, he's just an executive. Like, he's just thinking about money. And Truman Show, he's thinking about the art.
And it comes across too, because like Truman Show hits its advertisements with like product placement, like they would on a 50s
yeah.
television sitcom. You know
It's
what I
like
mean?
nuanced almost.
Where like EDtv, it's constant like 24-hour news banner of like advertisements going on the EDtv.
Oh
screen
yeah, like when he's
constantly.
about to score with Elizabeth Hurley, they put like the little Trojan banner on the
Yeah.
bottom and stuff.
Which I think is how it probably would go.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to share that, yes.
Oh,
it is that
look at those
guy,
glasses.
wedding planner. Jeez, man, that hair. He's got like blonde hair in this movie.
Jeez.
You know, the thing too is that there is a bit of, in Truman Show, it's hard to believe that they got it going that long.
Yeah.
You know, you're kind of, you're not there for the plausibility of the story, more as like the ethical questions that are being raised by the
Yeah.
plot.
Well,
Whereas EDtv, I think, actually kind of accurately describes how that would go down.
oh yeah, that's America in the late 90s. Like,
Although
that
it is weird that, because they do the gag so much, like, oh, we're somewhere and it's on the television. It's like, how many times do I need to see? How many times do you need to tell me that people are watching this show? I get
No,
it.
everyone's watching it
Yeah.
all the time. This is the only show.
He's a
only thing.
beetle.
Yeah. But there's no delay, which cracks me up, especially in the 90s.
There would be. Yeah,
there would be
there'd
some kind of delay.
So much delay.
If they put that thing on a 15-minute delay, they would have solved so many of their problems of like people just being there.
But Janet Jackson hadn't showed her boobs at the Super Bowl yet, David. They weren't doing that.
Yeah, that's the truth, man.
There's I think that there's more plausibility in the in the Truman Show in a way that, like, you know, nature versus nurture. If a guy is told that this is life and knows that there's nothing beyond a certain point, like, I don't think, I mean, maybe until like the show, until he's an adult. Like,
Yeah, he's like a young man.
yeah, you wouldn't test the boundaries or anything.
I agree with that. The part that I don't get is like why flat Earth ultimately doesn't work, because there's too many people having to keep up a lie for too long.
Exactly.
Too
Look how
consistently.
hard that would be.
Yeah, it'd be impossible.
And it's such a small set. I mean, it's a big set. It's a giant. It's like a town size,
Yeah.
But it's not a world.
it's not a world size. How would that happen?
In Truman Show, it's really only two people who break character in 30 years.
That's
like,
true.
Oh, and there's some like people who like sneak on.
yeah,
like,
there's occasionally,
like activists.
and that makes sense, but
Yeah.
it just seems hard that all of those cast members would be, you know, that good too. What I do love about Truman Show is sometimes a few of them have really bad performances, and it's
Yeah.
on purpose. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this guy's a bad actor. It's really hilarious. Where in EDtv, everyone just has bad performances.
Everyone's just a bad actor.
and it's like, oh, this is supposed to be real life.
And there's some good actors too. It's
Yeah,
crazy like how much of a flop that movie is, man. It's nuts.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson succeeds at making you hate him.
Yes, yeah, he does a good job. He does a good job.
Although I'm a big fan of the chicken dance. I'm like, yeah,
And-
I like this.
Can we agree that Woody Harrelson's got a far superior chicken dance?
Much
too?
better than Ed's.
And what's Longface's name? Tonight Show. I forgot his
Jay
name.
Leno?
Loves
Jay
cars. Jay
Leno.
Leno. Terrible chicken dance.
oh, he's bad at it.
Yeah.
He's super bad at it. But yeah, Woody Harrelson's got some groove.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I do like
The Big
Al.
Brother always does everything better. That's just
Well,
facts.
Take it, John. Take it.
I was at the beginning of the movie. I was like, "Who's the little brother?" It took me a little while, like, but they tell you. But it's a fun guessing game at the beginning. It's like,
The
is
little
Matthew,
brother.
is Matthew McConaughey the younger one here? You know what I mean?
gotcha.
They seem so close in age, but I guess because Woody Harrelson's balding, you're supposed to assume he's older.
It's true.
It's kind of rude.
I loved when you had brought up, David had said, like, oh, this is like seeing True Detective the college years.
Oh yeah.
And as soon as you said that, I was just like, that's awesome. I like looked at the chemistry, watching them on screen, and I was just like, they got good chemistry.
It's weird. Like, if you watched EDtv and then watched the first episode of True Detective right afterwards, and you'd never seen either, you'd never seen a movie or show in your life before, it's the only two things you've ever seen, you'd be so confused. You're
It
like,
would be like those brothers never patched up that awkwardness, and then they had to meet for one last job.
Dude, I love True Detective season 1.
yeah, man, season 1 is something else.
Chef's kiss, indeed.
Yeah.
I heard season 3 is not bad, actually.
Season
that
3 is
too.
pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I
season
haven't
2
seen it.
shouldn't have happened. Season 3, pretty solid.
Season 2 was so bad.
I never got through it. I gave up after like 3 episodes.
So bad.
And I'm still watching Walking Dead, so think about what that means, man. All right.
This man's got resolve.
I got, yeah. You get me started, I'll keep going.
But back to EDtv and Truman Show. Just because you were touching on it earlier, the effort to keep the lie in the Truman Show is one of the things I really enjoy, especially the constant. Because Truman has a longing just naturally inside him. He wants to be an explorer. He wants to explore the world. And the constant beating down of that, of the people in his world, where they're just like, actually, there's no use in exploring. Everything's been discovered already. You stupid kid. Sit back down.
It's so mean, dude.
It's horrible.
And you know what? I had a real emotional reaction to this movie.
Yeah.
We had gone to the gym to work out. We came back, Michelle and I, and then I was like sweaty, sitting on my couch, like tired and sore, watching Truman Show. She'd gone to the store. And then I got to the scene where like he's talking to his best friend, like confiding, and I'm like, I think everybody's against me.
Is that when he goes to the basement?
Well, no, it's
when
before the
they're
basement.
sitting, it's like after
when
his
he's like freaking out and he's like threatening his
with
wife
the kitchen multi-tool.
with the kitchen multi-tool. And he's talking with his best friend, and then there's, the director's feeding him lines. And actually, this is like an hour into the movie, and the first time they show the director, which I thought was like an awesome reveal. But he's like feeding him the lines. You get both deliveries of it. And then he gets to this line where he's like, well, I would never lie to you. There's one thing I'd never do would be lie to you.
Oh.
And then you see Jim Carrey's like reaction face. He's like realizing. And Jim Carrey is such a good dramatic actor. This is like his first one, right?
Yeah, it's one of the first ones, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what else there would have been.
And he gets to be like a cheeseball at the same time. He's playing to all his strengths.
Yeah,
in this
he
movie.
gets. This is like the perfect role written for Jim Carrey. But yeah, anyway, I'm watching the scene. It's so powerful. I'm like crying, sweaty, like sitting on my couch in basketball shorts, just sobbing through Truman Show. It was weird. It was a weird night last night, man.
Dude, and the big twist at the same time, you find out you have Paul Giamatti, one Limbo the orangutan, behind the scenes the whole time.
Limbo the orangutan.
Yes, man. Gotta love when Paul Giamatti shows up.
Apparently, this is his second dramatic role.
what's the first one?
His first is from 1992, Doing Time on Maple Drive, which is a made-for-TV film.
Oh, we're not gonna count that one.
Yeah, so this would be his
in
first big
dramatic,
film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely theatric-wise. Yeah, you're
And
right.
then it's Man on the Moon, which is also just
Wow.
crazy.
And then
Yeah.
what is after that? Like Majestic, which I've never seen, but I've
I don't
heard
know if I've
It's
seen-
pretty
No, it would
all
probably
right.
be Eternal Sunshine. After that,
I think
no?
Majestic's next. And then Eternal Sunshine. Then number 23.
Oh, there's a
Jim Carrey dramatic
Jim
ranking?
Carrey ranking episode. And then
I hate the number
comedic
23,
Jim
man.
Carrey
Well,
ranking.
I'm
That'd be
just
a
going
lot.
to rank it at the bottom.
I feel like the number 23 is like everyone that is like a QAnon supporter is like wet dream come true.
I've never seen that.
Oh, really?
I've never seen that
Oh,
movie.
man. You've never seen the number 23?
No,
It's not good.
Really? Because Jake was always saying it was so good.
He can be wrong sometimes.
It's-
He does have really good taste in movie. He can be wrong sometimes.
I feel like it's one of those movies that if you like it, you like it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's not objectively good.
Jake does have that like art school taste, which is
True. He does like bad movies,
yeah.
even though they're bad, and he knows they're bad.
I can get behind that. You know what though? Speaking of art school, when you watch Truman Show in the first like minute, there are like 10 different camera shots, and they're telling you so much in the story. Like they're like, we're letting you know that we have every angle of this guy's life covered, and they're doing it just like tastefully, like in a
We
minute
know
and a
you're
half.
asking if we watch him poop. The answer from our choices of shots tells you yes,
Yeah.
we watch this man poop.
Yeah, the entire first like act of the movie is them telling us without ever saying anything. And they're just giving it to us. A lot of it just by visual storytelling is a delight to watch. I've forgotten how good this movie was. And then I watch EDtv and it's like there is not a single interesting camera thing done in the entire movie. Everything is shot completely flat. There's not even any like comedic editing or cuts or anything. It's boring.
Yeah.
And it's 20 minutes longer and it has no right to be.
I feel like a saving grace about EdTV, just overall, is that you could
Matthew McConaughey going shirtless and flexing for us.
yeah, there's that. Woo! Well, the chicken dance too.
Getting down in the underwear for a little bit.
If you had to find like some saving graces in that movie, I think it's that it's essentially a study of late 90s American reality TV, the spur of reality TV, like before it really found its rhythm. And you can really see like the griminess and the disgusting, like misogynistic
Yeah, man.
craze that like popularism and celebrityism was back then. And that's what that show is. At least it wasn't intending it. It like kind of puts a mirror up to American society. But like,
yeah, they do the like talking heads thing, and then one of the gags I actually do is with the talking heads, and I actually kind of like it. We get one of the Inglorious Bastards, who's like one of Ed's
Adam
friends.
Goldberg.
Yeah, we get Adam Goldberg.
Right.
He's just like a friend, you know what I mean? But he's always doing these philosophical things, and he makes it onto that talking head TV show.
He's
talking
not
about Ed
he's
TV.
not an Inglorious
He's not a
Bastards.
bastard. He's in Saving Private Ryan.
Saving
That's
Private
it.
Ryan. Yeah,
I think you're like mixing him up with Eli Roth, maybe.
that's probably what it is. It's the strong eyebrows.
They do have strong eyebrows.
He's that guy in Dazed and Confused too.
Yes, he is.
Yes, that's right.
He's a great
Not
actor.
very good at fighting in that movie. Better in Saving Private Ryan.
He still doesn't make it in that one either. It's Upham's fault though.
Yeah.
I'd say like I was saying, like the merit in EdTV is unintentional from the creators of EdTV. You know what I mean? It's better now,
Yeah.
but it's also subjective for me because I came from a time period of liking it to not liking it, but understanding it.
Well, you know, we were just saying not that long ago how this movie wouldn't make sense to people today, but I think there is a nice parallel in, like, they could remake this movie today and make it about like a new app.
Yeah.
It's like TikTok, but instead you're
Just
streaming
live
yourself 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And it could be like a very similar movie. And I feel like they kind of predicted a little bit kind of how obsessive we get watching mundane things.
Making someone mundane into like a celebrity.
They have a line in the movie that's actually like really good, and it's about like you used to have to be talented to be a celebrity, and now you're
a celebrity
because you're famous.
You had to be special to be a celebrity,
famous.
but
Yeah.
now,
That was Adam Goldberg's line
That's right.
when he's on that show.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. When that was confusing scene
just
too.
turns
Well, I
He
liked it
turns into
because
a
it's just
totally
like
different character.
if this guy was like, well, that's who he is in the bar the whole time. Like,
That's
except
true.
for that one time he's drunk and he's like, I'm taking a poll. Should I shave my head? Honestly, but also I'm like really drunk right now.
Oh, he's the
But the
best.
rest of the time he's just like pontificating with these like grand things.
that's true.
So it makes sense that people see this guy on TV doing this. They like want to hear more from him. You know what I mean? Now he does like little circuit tours on talking head shows.
It reminded me of Ghostbusters for some reason when Venkman's on those talk shows.
Damn, let's go watch Ghostbusters after this. God, I love Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. There's also another really good line towards the end of this movie, and I think it's Rob Reiner, and he's talking about how like Americans are so forgetful. In like a year, everyone's going to be asking, "What's EdTV?" And I was like, you know what? You're 100% correct.
Maybe even less than a year, as Truman Show kind of outlines. Is like, okay, almost immediately.
But jokes aside, it is like they could totally work with online personalities. You could make a movie of the same
If you
commentary
rebooted
today.
this thing, I think so.
Yeah, there's an interesting idea.
There's a lot to
A
change out.
successful reboot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Somebody good would have to take care of it. Though.
yeah.
Not
Aronofsky. Just gonna.
Oh my goodness. Take some weird turns.
Wow. There's like kill a baby at the
Exactly.
end. Jeez.
Spoiler alert. I'm just kidding. You figure out which one it is.
You can watch a lot of those movies and not be sure what's going to happen.
Oh my god, I'm pretty sure this is the one where they're gonna kill the baby.
Someone's
and then
just
still
going
not
through
find
all
out.
the Aronofsky's movies.
It's like, what? It was Noah? I wasn't expecting that at all.
Oh, God, I can't wait for that ranking.
I don't know if I want to watch Noah again. I'm being honest. I was just bored by that. There's some cool stuff in that movie, but
I liked it.
You're not about the rock monsters.
Yeah.
you know, I don't mind it. I like the mysticism, Clash of the Titans kind of stuff, and the like, you know, ancient magic kind of thing. But and the rest of the movie's really boring.
Yeah, the acting's not great.
And then it turns into like a Lord of the Rings ripoff at the last like 30 minutes.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely what that
Yeah.
feels like.
Wow. Let me see if I had any other notes on these. I feel like we talked about these
No, I mean, it's just the execution, the way they decided to tell the story, the whole ethical questions. It makes Truman Show just a way stronger movie.
It's a work of art.
Yeah.
And it's unlike any other movie before it.
I've watched it twice this year. Might watch it again before the year's over.
Yeah, dude, I was honestly blown away. I'd forgotten. And it had been maybe 4
No
or 5
one would
years.
forgive you for giving it a standing ovation whenever you watch it.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I
like a movie you should be clapping for in the theaters.
You know what? We're talking about those movies that like your substitute teacher always would roll in on like a TV cart.
Yeah.
This is what it should have been.
Dang! Instead of watching
Dead
October,
Poet Society.
I was gonna say October Sky for
Oh
the
my
19th
God.
time.
I've probably seen October Sky in school at least 7
It's
times.
either radio or they made you watch
They're,
radio
like, showing
all
radio.
the time.
Music class in middle school, it was Drumline, and it was
Oh my God, I
Drumline for like
hate
2
that
or
movie.
3 years.
I hate that movie so much.
I can't take it anymore.
One of my favorite teachers in high school got fired for showing Saw on one of those days. Because some narc went and told their parents.
Wow, what a little loser,
Dude.
Let me just put this out there that we need to take note and make a new category. Movie Quest, movies your substitute teacher rolls in.
Could we do top 3, bottom 3 movies we watched in school?
There you
where
go.
the bottom 3 are like movies that were really inappropriate. Because I have 3. I for sure have 3 I could talk about.
I'd have to think about it. Okay.
That's a good podcast episode. But dang,
I did see Jaws in school.
School's already back though.
Yeah.
We'll do it next year.
Yeah.
Okay, we're writing this down.
Next August, listeners, tune in.
Shoot us an email and remind us.
I had 2 more similarities in these movies because I mostly just took down notes on similarities, but both of the main characters' lives are lies.
Yeah.
Whereas in Truman Show, it's like literally everything about his life is a lie.
Because it's manufactured.
But then in EDtv, we get the revelation at the end that it was his mom who was,
A good old classic like IRL live.
When
That's just how
Al
life
was
goes.
just like, don't blame your mom. I was irresistible.
yeah, that's right. That is pretty funny too. But yeah, it's like he hated his dad for years. Sweet Dennis Hopper, hating on Dennis Hopper.
Dude, yeah, his dad was Bowser.
Yeah, he's King Koopa, dude. This is that. They needed to
Shout out
use-
to our CLE Mario Bros.
They needed to use Dennis Hopper more. You don't pull in
Dude, he's
King Koopa and then not utilize him to his full extent. The other one is that they both have lady friends who hate the show.
Yeah.
Which end up driving the plot forward in some way. In EDtv, it's Dharma, and man, she really hates the show. And the show hates her, and all the fans hate her.
Yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah, it is really sad. But again, super, like, this could happen in 2021.
Oh, yeah.
If they remade this TikTok movie or something.
And then they'll make a YouTube video about the murder spree that she went on, when she loses
You know what's
it.
even funnier? Like, if they do remake it, they don't even have to change out the costumes because everyone dresses like that
Yeah, the
nowadays.
clothes came back around. Just pull them out of that
Stupid
storage.
overalls and all
Yeah.
that.
And in Truman Show, it is, and I did a terrible job of getting people's names. It's the wife from Californication.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah, that's who she is.
Yeah.
How funny.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you look at anything else other than David Duchovny when that's going
What's her
on?
name?
And
Oh,
the
Natasha
Biebs.
McElhenney? There we go.
McElhenney, yeah,
There it is.
like Sonny.
McElhenney.
But yeah,
She's all right.
No, I thought she was really good. I like the role in Truman Show.
Doesn't have like a ton of stuff to do. You know
No,
what I mean?
very minor character. Whereas in EDtv, it's their relationship that's really the main plot of the movie, and it goes full romantic comedy at the end.
And his like TV show wife, the one that they like manufacture for him, she does a really good job of like being way too cheery and fake and stuff. I
Yeah.
really love her performance in the whole thing.
You know, if the Truman Show didn't have like the TV component to the story, it could totally be like a sleeper spy movie.
Well, like Americans, yeah, they're
Like
Russian
the
plants.
Manchurian Candidate
Yeah,
kind of movie.
yeah, I could see
Definitely.
that. Dude, that'd be really good.
The Mantrumian Candidate. Sorry.
Ooh, that was gross.
Have
I
you
like
guys
that.
seen The Manchurian Candidate?
Yeah,
Yes.
Mwah.
and I think, well, I take that back. I haven't seen the new one. I think I've seen the old one.
Wait, which one's the new one? The Denzel one?
That's the new one. There's like
man.
an old Manchurian
Oh, there is.
Candidate.
Yeah, from like the 60s, right?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I saw that one on like TV Land.
Well, just
Yeah,
know.
1962.
Ever seen the Denzel?
Yeah, it's Frank Sinatra, and
Oh, wow.
I'm sure the Denzel one is way better.
Dude, yeah. Liev Schreiber and Denzel. Fantastic. And who else is in it? Meryl Streep.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to watch that.
Check it out.
So how are we feeling? I mean, is there anything else we wanted to?
I mean, I'm glad I watched EDtv again, but
Probably why I don't see it happening again.
no.
If I owned it, I would destroy it. I wouldn't even get rid of it. I would smash it into
Wow.
pieces until it couldn't be recognized.
So-
Yeah, like I definitely didn't like it as much as Truly Show, but you truly hated this experience,
Yeah.
didn't you?
You can ask Michelle at the end, the whole last like 45 minutes of this movie, my face was like this. And this is a reason why you should check out our videos.
David
on-
looks like he's staring at the sun. Right
yeah,
now.
that's a pretty rough
like,
face.
like I really want to see the eclipse, but I don't have the glasses, so I'm just like,
Damaging your eyes permanently.
Both have the same effect.
Yeah.
there are so like. If I could wipe this movie's existence,
You could
just to
try, but
have-
it'd always be a glimmer there, David. And
No,
it
I mean-
would come back and try to rescue you from your fake world.
if I could just eject it into the nether and in exchange get 3 extra minutes of Truman Show, new footage edited into the movie, down like 100%.
They should. They better not ever try and remake the Truman Show.
Yeah,
They-
it's perfect.
Well, they probably will. It's like EDTV's the one that should be remade, but
yeah.
who wants to when it flopped that hard? What's
Yeah.
the purpose? Yeah.
That is a masterpiece.
And it's got a good writing team. It's like the guys that did City Slickers. They did a couple other good,
Lowell
like
Gans.
really solid movies together. And then the other guy's name is Babalu Mandel. How do you forget
It
a
is
name like that?
Babalu Mandel.
Babalu.
You know what? City Slickers is a better movie because the performances are enjoyable.
Yeah.
But the writing is probably just as bad as this movie, where everything feels like
manufactured.
here's this bit that I had to. It's very much like what's his face, Judd Apatow, but intentionally. Instead of it being unscripted,
Yes.
they're like, oh, I have this really funny bit I want to throw
And
in.
you know what? They also did A League of Your Own. And now that
Yeah.
you're saying this, that movie feels the same way too.
Yeah.
It's like a good movie, solid performances, but that's exactly how that movie feels.
You know
Yeah.
who rocks in that? T. Hanks.
Yeah.
Oh,
He takes a super long
you gonna
pee
say?
in that movie.
Rosie O'Donnell.
No.
9.
Yeah, man, it's just, and I don't understand. Like, Ron Howard's a good director. Why did this happen?
There was an audible groan in my house as soon as Ellen DeGeneres came on screen. I was like, I forgot she's in this.
I didn't have the gut rereaction, but after her first scene, I was just like, man, I forgot how not great of an actress you were.
She's not
bad. Like, she's good in Finding Nemo.
Yeah, when
As
you
a-
can't see her face.
Yeah, as a CGI fish, but
Yeah.
she's bad in this movie.
Yeah.
Best at talk shows and being a fish, I guess.
Yeah, and even then, I think
She's not that good at talk
Isn't her
shows.
talk show?
I don't
getting-
know. I've never seen it.
It's canceled because she's
Yeah.
a jerk.
Yeah, that thing came out and it hit her ratings really hard.
Oh, whoops.
Oops.
You can't awkward dance your way out of this one. Ellen DeGeneres. Dan doing a TikTok right now. Well, are we done with this conversation?
I think so. Truman Show is way better.
Yeah, just watch Truman Show.
I have a special surprise. I'm taking over the podcast, everyone.
Oh my God.
Boom! Secret doppelganger.
Oh, man.
Dun dun dun.
Wow.
Pleasantville.
Dude.
Pleasantville, man.
So this would be a Doppelgänger.
Released on a budget of $60 million.
What?
Wow.
1998, October 23rd, Pleasantville had an opening weekend of $8,855,063. Pretty bad.
I was there, I'm pretty sure.
With a
I saw it.
worldwide gross of $49 million. So again, one that didn't make the money, but way better than EDtv.
Dude, this movie is beloved, too.
It really is.
And this movie's for good reason.
There's a
And,
cult
and just
following.
different enough to make like a really good movie pairing, actually.
Yeah, like these. Okay, so
Ooh, triple movie pairing, toss Blast from the Past in there.
I was
Throw
just
some Brendan
thinking that.
Fraser love.
Dude.
love Brendan Fraser. This one, like, it's not a doppelganger in the sense that the main premise is the same, but like the theme is really similar in that in Pleasantville and in Truman Show, we have these faux 1950s TV worlds that are fake, and that there is like a lie hidden right under the surface.
It's the American dream.
And then our protagonists are discovering this. Whereas in Pleasantville, it's more them, telling the other people because they're TV show characters. But man, they're so similar. They're so similar in themes, except that Pleasantville is more about like
Color.
racism at the end.
Yeah.
It's very much very clear allegory for racism
and sexual
Freedom.
freedom. Yeah,
it's basically like the 60s kind of.
Yeah.
It's like breaking the mold of the 50s and how the 60s just like hitting it right in the
Well,
face.
if we're talking like, I mean, this is like elemental, amazing movie that hasn't been done before also. It is on the level of Truman Show because there's nothing before it And the only thing I can think of past it is like Blast from the Past.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think
Both forgotten movies.
I feel like these might be earlier than Blast from the Past
Yes.
by like 2 years, maybe. Blast from the Past, like 2001.
That makes sense.
I think this is 1998. And
Although Blast from the Past is just a straight up fish out of water story.
1999.
Wow, so just a year later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Blast from the Past isn't as much like a thinker as much as it is like a fish out of water comedy.
It's funny.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the
But it's
opposite fish out of water of Pleasantville because Pleasantville, you take the modern man, put him in the 50s, and then you get this family frozen from the 50s coming out into the modern world again.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. But I just think that there's like nothing to think about in Blast from the Past.
No.
Which
Just watch Brendan Fraser be super cute.
And I'm not hating on the movie. I love the movie.
Can I put another one in there?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, whoa.
Encino Man. I'm just kidding.
We've
You
created
silly goose.
it's like a what's it called?
6 degrees from Encino Man?
Well, I was just picturing like chemistry class when you're drawing out,
oh,
the connections to like a
the chemical map or something
yeah,
like that?
I don't remember what they're called.
I don't either.
Chemical map, maybe.
I don't know. I'm going to find it.
Anyway,
I'll ask my monkey brother the next time I see him.
there we go. So sorry, I had to bomb in here with the surprise extra doppelganger. But man, if you have been listening to this podcast and you're like, you know what, I need to watch Truman Show again, skip out on EDtv and do a Pleasantville Truman Show double feature.
There you go.
And man, you're gonna have a good time. Watch Pleasantville first though, because Truman Show is almost a perfect movie, dare I say.
I honestly feel really thankful that I watched EDtv first and then followed it up with Truman Show the next day.
And now you know why I'm so angry.
Yeah.
Because I did not.
You're like, wow, this is a perfect movie. And then you saw a movie with just many, many flaws.
Yeah, I started EDtv at 10 o'clock last night, and I was very upset by the end of the movie.
I feel bad for the kids you taught today.
Yeah.
It's not as murky as Dante's Peak and Volcano or like what we did with Deep Impact. Well, this is more like Deep Impact and Armageddon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Armageddon at least is entertaining in the sense that it's so stupid. You know what I mean?
EDtv is real stupid. That's
Whereas like EDtv, I mean, there's a couple good bits, but
Yeah.
I hate this movie.
Yeah, it's not like EDtv has Steve Buscemi like riding a machine gun in space.
and being real creepy against girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is EDtv the same length as Armageddon?
Maybe. Armageddon feels like it's 2 hours.
Isn't it 2 hours?
I do want to close my
EDtv
eyes.
should have been 85 minutes. They should have gotten that down below an hour and a half.
1998's Armageddon has a runtime of 2 hours and 31
yeah, it's
minutes.
way longer than EDtv.
Right.
God, man, I hated that.
Oh,
I hated
no.
every minute.
It takes a long time to teach oil guys how to be astronauts, David. And Danny. I'm talking to you too.
I hate this world. I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
You know, I liked that you slipped in those the Doppelgänger here. And why not say a quadruppelganger with Blast from the Past?
Wow.
I mean, and while we're playing with words, there's actually a line in the Truman Show when he runs into those two old twins on his way to work. And he's like, yeah, hit me up about that policy. I'll give you guys a 2-for-1 special. The Doppelbanger special. Or the Doppelganger special. And I was like, he said it. Hey.
I smell a clip. Does that kick us to our next segment?
I believe so.
You're the kicker today,
I don't have
man.
anything else to say, really.
Yeah, that's... You heard it here.
Dope
Better movie
and
is...
not so dope.
Yep, exactly. The Truman Show is the better movie. I think that's going to make us go over to O.
Oh, maybe something else first.
Oh, character limit extended. I want to hear that echo just go off.
I'm honestly really excited to see how it all works out with the higher register.
Yeah, I'm just so
You flabbergasted?
I'm ready. You know what I mean?
okay.
I need to know what it sounds like.
Yeah, like I'm probably going to cut it out and turn it into a ringtone. And when I do, I'll send it to you guys so you can have it.
Yeah, I
too.
wanted to make it sound like a rocket launching off, but one that was like a little erotic, like Blue Origin.
I
Okay.
picked up everything you put down right
There you
now.
go.
Yeah,
That's exactly
I'm
what was
also
in my-
digging it. I might have to do a little bit of extra work on this one to get where we need to go. And by this time, the listener will know whether I pulled it off or not.
Yeah, that's true. They'll have heard it already and been like, you know what, Frank, nice job.
So, what
Wow,
movie are we
nailed it.
extending right now?
We're extending Candyman.
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 Say my name.
Candyman.
We're talking about 2021's Candyman by Nia DaCosta.
Nia DaCosta.
Game over.
And Inception. Who had the Hemingway? I think it was me.
Yes.
It was me.
Yes.
You were
did.
short and sweet this time.
Okay.
Be long and bitter, David.
I hate that. No, I'm just joking. This movie is actually pretty enjoyable. I would say this is for me like, a movie that it would have been fine to watch if maybe I was at home. I felt a little underwhelmed. We're getting into a trend of horror movies and like a way that horror movies are being made. And this movie executes everything, but I've seen it all before, I guess. And a good example, I think, is like the audio mixing. So the audio mixing is great in the movie. It's got great sound.
Super tight.
There's a bunch of cool audio effects. And there's this one, though, that's like you have a kind of like a droning sound. It's like rising, filling the whole theater. And then it cuts right when the scene, cuts to a different scene. And it's like, yes, that's really cool. But I've already seen it like in Hereditary, and I saw it in The Witch. And
I don't remember it from Hereditary.
I'm sure you don't.
Weirdly enough.
I've seen it like in It Follows. I've seen it in like 10 horror movies in the last decade, to where it just feels like a little tired. And I'm kind of like, it feels generic. Whereas earlier this week, we'd watched Candyman, the 1992 one.
Yes.
And that movie is anything but generic. That movie is like bizarre and strange.
They had an actor fill his mouth with bees.
Yes. It's
with bees.
Wait, not the bees. Not the bees.
It's like a gothic love story. The Candyman's this like tortured killer, but also wants to connect. And it's an interesting story. It's not the scariest movie. There's not a ton of kills or gore. There's hardly any graphic violence.
True.
That's why I forgot about that. I'm sorry to interject.
No, you're good.
But the 1992 Candyman, written by Clive Barker, that's what gives it that gothic romance feel, like
Hellraiser.
like Hellraiser, the original one.
It's got that Clive Barker taste to it. Whereas this one,
he's a strange man.
If any kind of taste that it has, it's got a little bit of the Jordan Peele social commentary that we're used to, but there's no subtlety in it, and it's just like hitting you in the face. This is exactly what this movie's about. And then it ends and you're like, wow, that's exactly what that movie was about.
I think that was my biggest problem with it, to be honest, is like you said, it took the template of like contemporary, modern, artsy horror, A24 type horror.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It took that template and it did go the Jordan Peele route in terms of, but even Jordan Peele has more nuance in what he does and more, I guess metaphor or allegory, you know what I mean?
He also leaves some things purposely ambiguous.
Exactly. But absolutely nothing was ambiguous in this movie. It was spelt out for you. And I know there were some, social commentary themes, and that's always been a thing with horror. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're saying with the sexuality in all old slashers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like on the nose, like we're saying this because sexuality is bad and exploitation is bad.
Saying.
You know what I mean?
It's
you
not
could
like
have a discussion about it in a classroom versus if you tried to have a discussion on the theme of Candyman, it'd be like, oh, well, gentrification and like keeping people down in the ghettos. And then that would be the end of that conversation.
Police brutality, a little bit of police brutality in there too, which are, again, important issues. But when you watch something, for instance, like Us, we just watched Us.
Yes.
Which handles the same themes, but in a way where you're not just sitting, like you're thinking.
It gives you an innovative narrative.
Yeah.
And another thing, like you said, it kind of perverts what Candyman was aiming for in the original.
And that's my biggest issue with it, is that Candyman isn't even a slasher movie, the original one. It's a weird, bizarro movie that's like 3 or 4 different mixed up subgenres. The new Candyman is a spiritual slasher movie. That's all that's going on. The Candyman shows up and he goes, and then that's it.
And honestly, I feel like all the points you guys are making solid, valid, I agree, the things I really enjoyed about it for sure were the more slasher elements. I did like the update on it. I also really appreciate that we didn't go hard reboot, but we like build onto the lineage from the films. I was so happy that's
cool.
what they were doing.
For sure.
I remember thinking in the theater, thank you for approaching it this way and not just deciding to poo all over like the lineage of
Exactly.
a character and just kind of add. And I like that there are spiritual successors to the Candyman. I like that that's the direction they went
It's
to go
like
with it.
like a high five to the fans.
Yeah.
You know, versus like just being like, we just took the name and did what we wanted. With
Yeah,
it.
like a Nightmare on Elm Street scenario.
Yeah,
where
or
they-
RoboCop.
yeah.
God.
You remember
Damn, dude. I'm still pissed about giving money to the new RoboCop. I can't believe we went to that movie. in
I've
the
never
theater,
felt
dude.
so bamboozled by paying a movie ticket.
Damn,
Remake
dude.
versus original?
God,
Or
that
what?
movie
dude.
sucks. No, I've
Yes.
never watched it.
Just rip it
Dude,
apart. Just rip it apart.
I've never seen the remake.
Oh my god!
I stayed away.
how are you gonna nerf the beginning of RoboCop?
That's what people watch it for.
That's what I was saying about Red Dawn when I watched that Red Dawn
That's it.
remake.
Jesus.
God, ripped it apart. Another good one is Total Recall to rip it
Oh,
apart.
dude, I've never seen the remake and I don't want to. I'm in the position that Frank was, and I kind of made him watch Red Dawn. He just came over and it was on. So
Yeah, I was like hard, never watching this. Then I showed up early for podcast day, and I was like, well, I guess we're watching this chunk of the new Red Dawn.
Yikes.
it's so bad. Wait, so what are we talking about? Candyman.
Yeah.
Candyman.
I mean,
Candyman.
my final thoughts on it is it's not bad. I would rather watch it at home. I don't think it's great, but it's not bad. You would have noticed a difference if Jordan Peele directed, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think if you're a die-hard Candyman fan, I'm not sure how you're going to feel.
Let us know.
I'm curious because I'm not I've only seen Candyman 1. I've never even seen the other 2 sequels. So who knows? You know
Same
what I mean?
over here, and I didn't see the original Candyman until we were preparing to watch the new one.
Kind of same with me. I saw it when I was a kid. I remember being scared of Candyman. But man, watching that movie, it was pretty much just like a new experience. I think this one pays homage nicely.
Yes.
Other than Polar Express, Tony Todd face at the end. But other than that, it pays homage nicely to the original. I think if it's October and you're looking for a spooky movie and then you're like, hey, Candyman is streaming on HBO Max or whatever, let's check this out tonight. You're not going to be upset. You know, it's a perfectly good movie. There's some killer scenes in it, like
Good performances.
the bathroom scene with the ladies. Yeah, the characters are pretty interesting. You're invested in them. I just, it's not going to rock your world is all I'm getting at. So I shouldn't hate on it too much. I think it's a good movie.
It's not on the level of something like Us or Get Out.
You see the Jordan Peele name and it's not him directing it, but like your brain's already going there and then you watch it and you're like, oh, well.
To be honest, I don't really like the things that he just produces. Like,
Yeah.
I watched some of the Twilight Zone, and this is a lot of the people, all these people that worked on this film were the people that work on the Twilight Zone too.
And I heard that was kind of lame.
It's pretty lame.
And I'm just going to put it on record. I don't like Key and Peele as a comedy duo.
No,
I'm
I
just
don't.
going to put that
They
out
have
there.
a couple good sketches. But
Yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah.
There's a couple sketches that I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. But for the most part, I'm like, God, why? Jesus Christ!
Isn't Keegan Michael Key Mad TV? Isn't that where he started off?
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
See, that's where it all went wrong. like Mad TV has never been funny.
But Bobby Lee, hilarious.
Yeah.
I saw Keegan Michael Key in person, and he's
Tall?
a lot tall. He's a lot tall.
He's
Big
a lot tall.
He's
A
big
lot-
tall.
lot tall man.
No, he's tall and skinny, and it was really jarring. I was just like, I didn't picture you looking like that in real life.
I guess the one endorsement that I could put my frank seal of approval on Candyman is it was an after work movie in the middle of the work week that I drank through pretty well, not say heavily, but it wasn't a light load.
Yeah.
I didn't
You
even
didn't fall
come close to
asleep?
falling asleep.
And it
once.
was like 10 o'clock when it started.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
watched it late. So it's got the Frank, you will stay awake through this movie
Yeah.
seal
Yeah.
of approval.
It was a good time.
It's watchable.
Yeah.
For sure. There's a lot of
I
artistic
didn't
shots.
feel like standing up and clapping. Didn't feel like I wanted my money back. I had a good time.
No.
Couldn't say it better myself.
Just like the movie, it's mediocre.
All right.
Well, I think that means we have to go on to...
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it, Franklin?
It is very interesting. A three-way kickoff. Here we go. So we're going to get a little bit off topic from what we've been talking about. It's going to be kind of a jarring segue. Candyman becomes first #1 movie at the box office, helmed by a black woman. How monumental. A monumentous occasion. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. All the lauds deserved.
I don't have them loaded on the soundboard, but there's going to be so much fanfare later. I had to make room for other fun stuff like
I love hearing these kind of stories, but it always just like makes me sad. You know what I mean?
that hasn't been
that
done
it's
before.
2021.
Yeah, like 2020, I think 2020 Oscars. I forgot her name. She's got like an Eastern European name. But she won Best Composer for Joker.
Oh, that's right.
And it was the first time that a woman had ever won the Oscar for
Hildur.
Best. Yeah, Hildur.
Hildur Gnadottir.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
we had to cut out audio of her saying her own name for that because it's tough.
It
Yeah.
is.
It's like a trigonometry level of difficulty for your tongue.
But you hear these stories and it's just like, man, how are we barely getting here? But congratulations.
Congratulations.
Nia DaCosta.
Deserved.
I'm excited to see what happens next. I don't know if she's going to continue with the Candyman story.
I don't think they should.
Yeah, it's probably not a great
Depends
idea.
on how much money they make. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is exciting that a story that has always been about the black community, even the original Candyman, it's exciting to have someone from that community representing it. I
Yeah.
think that's really interesting and that's really cool. I mean, I just, it's a perfectly serviceable, it's perfectly splendid, the movie.
you
Not
know
splendid, perfectly okay.
Perfectly okay.
Numbers wise, like they're off to the races. Like budget, they were working with 222 million, like just over.
Damn, that's a lot.
It is a lot. But worldwide gross up to this point, released for what, a week and a half at this point, 29,088,000.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
They already hit 2%.
They're working.
10%.
In like COVID times, they're doing the work. They're getting it in.
Yeah.
That's true. And this is a movie that is only in theaters.
Yeah.
So that's this is an interesting time for box office because it's hard to say, what's really being made.
True.
But yeah, that is interesting, Frank. I don't know if I have anything else to add on this topic.
We already talked about it,
Yeah,
what I mean?
we
But I
talked
just
about it.
felt like it was interesting. It needed to be mentioned. It was a great time. What will the next thing be?
Groundbreaking news.
Yes.
Here.
You heard it here today, right
Yeah.
now, as you're listening to
Maybe
it.
not-
Definitely not first.
Maybe not first. If
No
you
way.
did, cool.
Congratulations.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Did you all hear that the Matrix 4 is going to be called Resurrections?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Sticking with that R theme, I guess.
sure. Who cares?
I'm a little hesitant,
After-
Who
man.
cares what you're going to call it? Just show me so I can decide if I hate it or not.
Exactly.
After watching Reloaded, I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch Matrix 4 anymore.
I think you
You're
got to
gonna watch it.
So you didn't watch the third one then?
I still haven't watched the third one yet, but dude, I mean, 2 is so bad. It's unbelievably bad. And again, I'm someone who's still watching Walking Dead. You know what I mean? And I'm doing okay there.
This
but
man will watch bad things.
dang, dude.
He watched all of
Wow.
Resident Evil.
Oh, well, I still need the last one on that too. That's more Michelle than me, though. She's waiting to gain her strength back to confront it. It does take a lot of energy. You guys we should just make a party out of it. Like you guys
Oh,
can
man,
just
that
come and
sounds-
watch just the last Resident
God.
Evil and just be totally out of context. And you know
And
what?
hate it.
I feel like that might be the better way to do it, honestly.
Right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great time. We'll make
Let
a
me know.
drinking game
Let's
out of
just
it.
do our uninformed movie commentary.
Wow.
Last Resident Evil movie.
And then Michelle and I will try and explain a series that we
Yeah.
watched like 5 months ago.
We'll get one of those buckets of Jello shots. We could this could be some
Sounds
pretty good
good.
stuff.
This actually sounds like a good time. Coming soon in October.
Having a good time.
Resident Evil month.
Oh,
Not
you know
really.
what? Yeah. Here's a mini plug. Y'all get ready because we're going to Spoopy Month here on Uninformed Movie Reviews.
It's right around
It's
the
not
corner.
even right now. It is the almost 1st of September. It is 1st of September's Eve, and that just means 32 days away from the best day in the year, and also the best month for Uninformed Movie Reviews.
Yeah. Wait, isn't it 31 days away? Isn't there 30 days in September?
Oh, dude,
30
what am I
days has
thinking? It's actually like
September,
60
April, June,
days.
November.
Yeah.
It's something
Like
like
from Halloween.
Yeah.
But like October 1st, though, official
Oh.
spooky month.
29 days right
Yeah.
now.
Well, 30 days. Anyway,
28.5 days.
who cares? You know what I mean? We'll get
Time is a human construct.
there. Yeah. What does it even mean?
So, everyone, I think it's time for our favorite ending segment, which is Peeps and Predicts. For those who don't know, it is a imaginary segment where we pit two.
The segment's very real.
Okay, the segment's real.
Yes.
The predicts or predicaments, if you will, are imaginary, but there is a clear winner. We choose 2 peeps, as I'm doing right now, and they have to beat out our terrible champion.
As is tradition.
Oh my
Amon
goodness,
Got.
Amen Gut.
Oh my.
Head
no.
Nazi and
Mein
Schindler's
Gott.
List.
What are we doing?
Yeah, not good.
Sometimes you think something's going to be funny, and then a Nazi wins, peeps, and predicts.
We just this is exactly the 2016 election, man.
Oh, no.
Oh man, everyone thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
Here we go. First peeps is Ed Picerni a la EDtv versus Truman Burbank.
Wow. Hey,
How fresh.
How topical.
That's a fresh picked peep right there.
And their predicament. Whose 24-hour reality show would have higher ratings?
Wow.
What is this? This is too topical. I'm throwing this
That's
away.
crazy.
I feel like we have to. Too close, man.
Are we really going to throw it away? I was just joking about it.
Like,
How do we even
There's
decide
a clear
this?
winner. There's a clear winner.
Well, here's
Well,
the
I don't
ironic
know.
part. I think that
I feel like EDTV's would have
EDtv, he had
higher
more.
ratings because it's scandalous.
and well, yeah, and then Truman Show had been going on for almost 30 years at that point, and it's like, were people still watching as much as they were? Maybe
Like,
from-
there's still got to be hype, but not as much as the initial hype of EDTV.
I mean, that's
you know
like,
what I mean?
I'm wondering if it's like in the same camp of like people who watch like Days of Our Lives for like 30 years. You know what I mean?
well, I just feel like we'd have to 24-hour reality show would have higher ratings. We'd have to like imagine these shows coming on at the same time simultaneously.
Which one are people watching?
Which one are going to like these shows are both released on the same day, the same time slot, two different channels. Are they going to go with drunk Matthew McConaughey and his drunk brother, or
A baby,
like Little Baby?
a little baby doing dumb
Drunk
baby
Bros.
things.
I think Drunk Bros, especially in 2021.
Oh yeah.
2021. This is Jake Paul. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And Logan Paul. This is the Paul brothers.
You know, say what you
minus
want.
boxing.
Say what you want about culture changing in the last 30 years, but we still love watching dumb drunk bros.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Chet Hanks.
Chet Hanks. Word up. Anyway.
So White Boy Summer's over now, I
You know,
guess. As of tomorrow.
I gotta say, White Boy Summer, kind of underwhelming. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I didn't notice anything great about it.
I didn't feel
I'm
any-
wearing flip flops.
Yeah, Danny is repping White Boy Summer right
And you know what?
now.
They're Birkenstocks, so come at me, Chet
Dang.
Hanks.
Okay, Frank.
I'm glad we did a White Boy Summer catch up at the end here, a wrap up of it, if you will.
Yeah, we still need to do the Poppy wrap up. We got to check in on that again.
Still haven't heard back from Poppy.
Dang.
And that's your Poppy wrap up.
It's been 3 or 4 years now.
I don't have very high hopes of receiving a reply at this point.
Dang.
Who has a better chance of getting their underperforming film remade?
Okay, I just thought for a second, I thought you went, who has? Like, I thought you were doing a weird accent and it caught me off guard.
That was just my regular weird voice, David.
Who has a better chance of their underperforming movie being remade?
Yes.
Well, Truman Show's not an underperforming movie,
It's not.
No, it's a great movie.
N.A. Not applicable.
but does seem more likely to be remade, though.
Yeah. As much as we want EDtv to be the remade one.
It should be, but you're not gonna remake a property no one cares about.
Yep. And yeah. And
But I would
knows.
argue
I don't know.
there's zero chance for Truman Show because it is not an underperforming film.
Yeah, see, this is confusing by the way, but I would also say there's zero chance for EDtv because you're not gonna spend money on a property no one cares about.
Well, it's like an underperforming film.
I guess that's true.
Laughs in the craft.
I mean, I guess Ed's our champ today, man. I mean, it's just the way
Ed
it's
Picerni.
right.
I don't think he's going to beat the Nazi. Like, what could be in here? You're
just so reluctant to put him up.
Yeah.
I don't think
Thanks.
Truman would have beat.
Too bad we didn't have whose reality show would have
We're
higher
just
ratings.
like, okay, I'm sorry, Matthew McConaughey, but we need you to enter this arena so that this Nazi can just shoot you
Yeah.
in the face, Indiana Jones style, really quick.
Do some of
But
those chest thumps real quick.
We really appreciate you for coming down.
Oh, yep.
Come on, Matthew.
Let's let him run for governor. I'll vote for him. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, it can't be any
be
worse than
this
Greg Abbott.
idiot. Yeah.
When the movie came on last night, I was like, Michelle, there's our future governor right there.
Let's go.
There he is.
Dude, every time I watch Terminator 2, I'm just like, how did this happen?
Guys, I think we may have defeated the Nazi.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is this what I think it is? All right.
Am I gonna
I
have
bet
to,
it is.
If I have to go Nazi defense right now, let's see what happens.
Who's more likely to cuck their brother on live TV?
Okay. Danny went too topical with these.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, it's still a situation.
Like, to be fair, we left him with zero supervision. He like started writing. We both left the room to do
This was
other
bound to
things.
happen.
Yeah.
It's like if you're a teacher and you get upset because your class is all wild and crazy, it's like, yeah, it's your fault.
He
not being there.
wrote this one in all caps too.
I wrote them all in all caps.
He was serious.
Yeah.
Well, I got to say, Ed's got a track record, man.
He's got all the prerequisites of having cucked his brother.
And you know what? Just like how effective Amen Gut is at like reaching the ends by whatever means, we just defeated him by whatever means. So does it matter?
But
They didn't have live TV yet.
do you think he would do it again, Matthew McConaughey? After making the mistake one time, do you think he would find himself in the same situation?
Depends how hot and one-dimensional that lady is, David.
I guess that's true.
Elizabeth Hurley?
Hey, he resisted Elizabeth Hurley, though.
He did. He's a good
He
guy.
did. You know what I mean?
But you know
He
what?
almost
Like,
didn't though.
if he found himself like 30 years down the line, Ed is like 60 and he's like pretty much in the same situation as his dad was, like he might do it.
I guess that's true. But what about...
Amen Gut?
Yeah, what about when he's 60? He'll never reach that old. Let's give it to Matthew McConaughey.
Are we going to give this one to the Nazi again?
No, I don't think we
No.
can.
Okay.
No, I think Matthew McConaughey is the standout.
Can I
here.
get
Well,
a
Ed.
gunshot?
I'm just quite...
You can have 3 gunshots. The 2 are just for you, just for free.
And I timed it right with me hitting the mic stand, too. So,
Wow, that was good.
yeah.
So that means Ed Picerni is the
reigning
new
champ.
Yeah, the character
That
for you.
deserves-
Just keeps stumbling
chicken
into
dance.
You can't really do it in a chair. It's a lot about the feet.
It's hard.
It really is.
Yeah.
You got to put one right in front of the other and like kind of bop your head.
Shimmy up a little
Those
bit.
who are watching on
And then
YouTube
you
are
also-
getting a real treat right now.
you have to like urinate and poop from the same hole. You have to like have a cloaca.
Gross.
Wow.
There's birds.
Anyway.
Bird facts.
Birds are gross.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Before we head on out of here, coming up on the schedule, everybody, coming up soon, we have body horror. We have Lamb.
oh yeah.
We got Last Night in Soho. Man, spooky month's gonna get crazy. And we got a shout out next week. We are doing Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane.
So join us. We've never seen this one before. Well, Danny has because he's already done his review. But this is a first time watch for us, and maybe it's a first time watch for you. So check it out and let us know what you think.
Look at you, Plug Daddy.
Hey, that
Putting
wasn't
in
too
some
bad.
plugs.
Oh, you said you
good.
couldn't do it. You lied.
No, but this is a sneak peek. I can do next
that is
episode.
sneak peek. Your preview guy.
Next
Yeah.
time on.
Next time on. And as always, we promise lots of fan service.